One thing no one tells you about disappointment is that it can make your world revolve around what you lost. The relationship, the dream, the expectation, the future you thought was coming. And while you're staring at the closed door, life is still happening around you. Friends are still laughing, music is still playing, the sun is still rising. People are still falling in love. Children are still chasing bubbles through parks. Someone is celebrating a birthday. Someone is taking their first step. Someone is beginning again. Life keeps moving, not because it's insensitive to our pain, but because it knows there's more waiting for us. As I sat there listening to stories and laughter, I realized something. I wasn't thinking about what happened. I wasn't replaying old conversations. I wasn't trying to solve unanswered questions. I was simply present. And presence is a gift. Because when you've spent months or even years living in the past, being fully present feels like freedom. I think that's one of the reasons healing takes time. Not because we're weak, but because we have to slowly learn how to return to the moment we're actually living. The one happening right now. Not the one we wish had happened. Not the one we're afraid might happen. This one. This breath. This laugh. This song. This night. And then I noticed them, an older couple, out on the dance floor. Nothing flashy, nothing dramatic. Just two people moving slowly together, comfortably, naturally, like they'd been sharing the same rhythm for years, maybe decades. And I watched them, not with sadness, not with longing, but with appreciation. Because for a long time I thought love was a destination, something you arrive at, something another person gives you, something you either have or you don't. But standing there, I realized something different. Love isn't just romance. Love is much bigger than that. Love is my friend reaching across the table to hold my hand when she knows I'm having a hard day. Love is a text message asking if I got home safely. Love is checking in. Love is forgiveness. Love is kindness. Love is showing up. Love is staying. Love is trying again. Love is being alive. The couple on the dance floor reminded me of something beautiful. Not that love exists. I already knew that. They reminded me that life itself is an act of love. Every morning we wake up and choose to participate, to hope, to create, to connect, to trust, to keep going. And that takes courage. And that's why setbacks hurt so much, because they tempt us to withdraw from life, to stop participating, to stop believing, to protect ourselves by staying hidden. But hidden things don't grow, and neither do hidden hearts. I've spent a lot of time asking why certain things happened, why certain people left, why certain doors closed, why some prayers seemed unanswered. But lately, I've been starting to ask a different question. What if the ending wasn't punishment? What if it was just redirection? What if life wasn't taking something away? What if it was guiding me somewhere else? Not necessarily somewhere easier, not necessarily somewhere I expected, but somewhere I needed to be. Sometimes losing your way is how you discover who you are. Sometimes the detour becomes the destination. Sometimes what feels like a setback becomes the very thing that introduces you to a stronger version of yourself. Not harder, not colder, but stronger, wiser, more rooted, more grateful, more aware of what truly matters. And maybe that's what tonight was really about. Not moving on, not proving anything, not pretending I have everything figured out. It was simply about remembering. Remembering what my life is still full of. Remembering that joy still belongs here. Remembering that I don't have to wait for perfect circumstances to enjoy a beautiful evening. Remembering that happiness isn't something we earn after surviving hardship. It's something we're allowed to experience along the way, even while we're healing, even while we are uncertain, even while we're becoming. There was a moment tonight when I looked around the room, the music, the conversations, the candles flickering on the tables, the friends beside me, the couple dancing, and I thought, this is love. Not one version of it, all of it. The kind that fills a room, the kind that lives in friendship, the kind that exists in laughter, the kind that arrives in unexpected moments and reminds us we're connected to something bigger than ourselves. And suddenly I understood something. Life isn't asking me to focus on what I lost. Life is inviting me to notice what's still here. Because there is so much still here. There is beauty still here. There is joy still here. There is purpose still here. There is love still here. Maybe that's the lesson. Maybe healing isn't finding your way back to who you were. Maybe it's discovering who you've become. Maybe it's learning that your heart can break and remain open. Maybe it's realizing that setbacks don't define your story, they simply become part of it. And maybe, just maybe, the most powerful thing we can do after disappointment is continue showing up for our lives. To laugh when laughter comes, to dance when music plays, to trust that what's meant for us will find us, and to recognize that even in seasons of uncertainty, we are surrounded by love. Not someday, not eventually, not even when everything works out. Right now, tonight, in this moment. And for that, I am grateful. Grace, anyway.